Absolutely beautiful Leo friends, and welcome to your horoscope for September of 2022, where Leo, this month we're going to get a lot into the communication station, just like we do every year when Libra season comes around. It lights up your third house space. We got to start having conversations, making some decisions, looking at learning, teaching, the website, writing the book. All third house matters rise to the surface. Not only that, we've got Mercury retrograding in that third house space and then backing up into the second house space. So we're also going to do a little review, last moments of dealing with some financial things and things that are of value, things that also need to maybe be organized, things that you want to be your very best, ways that you're of service. All of these kinds of things show up when we're dealing with second house energy as well. So we've also got, as we're coming into this month, Leo, something I want you to be very mindful of. Mercury is going retrograde, but Mars is going to move into pre-retrograde shadow time right at the beginning of the month. Now, this is our official setup of energy we're going to work with until March of 2023. So there is a ton on the table when we're dealing with the Mars and Gemini energy in your chart. So please become ever so familiar with that. So let's jump in, Leo, and talk about what's going on. Right at the beginning of the month, on the 3rd, we see Mars entering into pre-retrograde shadow time at 8 degrees of Gemini. So what that means when it's in pre-retrograde shadow time is that Mars is slowing down. It's not just whipping and zipping through Gemini like it normally would do. You know, we get 6 weeks of Mars, we're living our best lives, not that. Now Mars is slowing down a bit in Gemini, and it's also keying us to the frequency of, okay, I need to pay attention at 8 degrees of Gemini in my chart to 25 degrees of Gemini in my chart, because these lessons are exactly what you're going to focus in on for the next 7 months. So on the 3rd, we've got Mars slowing down at that 8 degrees of Gemini. Note that on your chart, and we'll see the full retrograde as we get into October. On the 5th, we've got Venus now moving into the second house, into the energy of Virgo. Venus comfortable in that second house vibration, so calling in the money, calling in the opportunities, calling in romance, calling in things that are valuable. If you are doing work, you're putting out a product, you're trying to take your physical body out into spaces for some kind of marketing or something like that. Venus also makes you magnetic. It's very attractive, and it's attractive to other people. So you may find that in a very practical Virgo way, you are attracting to you what you need in order to fulfill the value of this second house. Did you make a budget and you found out, oh, I need to make this much extra money? Or, you know, are you going back over your self-esteem and you're really looking at what you need to prioritize or discern in terms of what you're paying attention to in order to bring that self-esteem to the next level? Being of service to people, doing esteemable things is also a great way to let that magnetic Venus energy help you build self-esteem. So whatever it is, the second house gets a little Venus kiss as we travel here on the 5th of September. When we get to the 9th, now we're going to see Mercury taking its retrograde at 8 degrees of Libra, and it will back up through this retrograde to 24 degrees of Virgo. Now, this 8 degrees of Libra for you lights up the third house space. Learning, teaching, communication, studying, writing that book, things to do with siblings, buying and selling. Think about buying and selling that car, that house, real estate agents. You guys live in here. Other things I think of, though, are short distance trips. That means if you're leaving from your city to another city or your state to another state, we can put that in a short distance trip, depending on how far away it is. When you're going to jump an ocean, then we're going to jump into a different house. But all of these concepts here, you can bring your attention to, because you're going to review, re-edit, reconnect, reunion, revise, whatever it is, you're going back over this third house. Is there a contract, Leo, that you had on the table and now it's up for renewal, or you're deciding what to do with it next? Is there a book and you're finally going to sit down in this season and get back to writing it? Is it time to update the website? Is it time to actually, Libra, bring collaboration and cooperation back in your life in order to get the third house affairs moving on? Whatever it is, the retrograde in Libra begins right now and will take us all the way to October 2nd, where we see Mercury coming direct, but all the way until October 16th, where we see Mercury fully leaving its post-retrograde shadow energy. On the 10th, we've got a full moon at 17 degrees of Pisces. Now, the full moon asks us to end something, acknowledge something, or make an adjustment, okay? For you, Leo, this is in the 8th house. So a full moon in the 8th house, one of the first concepts I reach for is detox. What needs to go? What needs to be eliminated because it's too heavy on your spirit, Leo? Like it's sitting on your spirit and it just, you can't rest well with it there, right? And it doesn't mean something traumatic or tragic happened. It could, but it also just means in your one-on-one relationship, your intimate relationship, there's something that is not spiritually feeding you anymore, and so it's time to detox or to eliminate that. Now, this is Pisces energy, so truly, were you eating something for too long and it's stuck in your system? Do you need to do an immune system detox? Is this a liver detox? What's going on? It could be very, very physical for you as well, but a lot of this I think has to do with concepts of any kind of specialty health situations you have, taking care of that, spiritual situations and concepts that may be rising to the surface as well. So whatever needs to be ended, acknowledged, or adjusted here, this 8th house energy is going to help you do that. Now, other things in the 8th house are resources. Maybe it's a partner's resource, or you have a loan, or you're trying to get a loan to go to school. Any place, estate planning, there's joint resource, there's joint emphasis on the money that's happening here. So with this full moon happening here, you can see a resource in some way slipping away. You can absolutely have that happening in slippery Pisces energy. But other things I think of are, you could really be making your intimate life, your sex life, your financial life, your connection life so fertilized and so rich and so juicy at this time that it does spiritually feed you, right? If you've got no passive income in your life, this might be a great time to use the fertility of this Piscean energy to get that going, all right? As we get to the 22nd, now we see the sun enter into the energy of Libra, bringing light, heat, life, and vitality, and a willingness to move into this third house space. But it's Libra. It's also bringing conversation. It's bringing relation and relationships to your table. And the idea in this conversation while the sun is beaming here is that you don't have to fight so hard. Right? Like everything doesn't have to be a fight. You can have partnership in your life. You can have collaboration in your life. You can have relationship in your life. And they're allowed to be in harmony while you converse, make decisions, learn, share information, buy and sell, haggle, negotiate, whatever it is that you have to do. The Libra energy every year, this is your season where you start to work on these concepts. So, with notwithstanding moving towards complete shadow energy, where you want to enmesh yourself in another person or in another relationship or another resource, instead of creating that codependence, creating a nice interdependence is really good here. It is also a season where indecisiveness could be really at your back door. Try to be as decisive as you can. It is good to weigh all the pros and the cons of decisions that you're making, contracts that you're going to sign, but don't stay in indecision too long. Plus, we've got Mercury retrograde here, at least for another day, to kind of help you review and see what decisions are best for you at this time. Just a day later, on the 23rd, we see that Mercury retrograde slide out of Libra and back into the energy of Virgo. Now, again, go back to August 20th. what was coming up for you around Virgo themes in your life, right? What was coming up in that second house? What were you working on, thinking of, building at that time? Because now Mercury is going to help you review that, reconnect, revise it, so it can be really lush and useful to your financial and value life, okay? As we get to the 25th, we've got a new moon at 2 degrees of Libra. So now we've got further emphasis into this third house. And I would tell you, plant your seeds of intention here, Leo. What do you want to begin? What's the conversation you want to begin? What are the conversations you want to have in partnerships? What are contracts, projects, negotiations you want to call to your table? You know, are there teachers or resources, people who can join you in partnership that help take you to the next level, right? What is the call for partnership that you're putting into this area of your life? This is a really good new moon to help you plant those seeds of intention to begin something, or to begin it with a fresh perspective. This is also a really good season / new moon. I think if you do have to have conflict with people, it can grant you a doorway to walk through where there's less fight. You got to get it done. You got to face the conflict to get through it. But that Venus energy shines through. So it's like it hits a little bit different, right? There's more peace. There's more diplomacy on the table for what it is that you need to do. Now, to further attract in as we close out this month on the 29th, we see Venus move into the energy of Libra, where it's in its ruling sign, very comfortable. So we too demonstrate a measure of comfortability when signs get into their domicile. So it's very attractive to this area. You are attracting people to you to teach. You are attracting people to you to read that book, to read that blog, to have that conversation with your sibling. This is an attracting in energy. Again, bringing that beautiful Venus, bringing some salve to the situation kind of energy. So lots of good things to be had as we work with a very Venus vibration in your third house all month long. All right, beautiful Leos, let me know in the comment section down below what you're getting into. I would love to know how it manifests for you as you're going through the month, and certainly as you end this month, what has happened for you, because I love a good forecast, but you can't tell me what happened on September 23rd if it's only September 1st, okay? All right, beautiful friends, I love you a ton, and I will see you next time. Bye.